Hello, YouTube. I realize I don't need these on to speak. 15th April 2026. Today is a 29 double digit date numerology, 2 plus 9 equaling 11. And it's a master frequency number. 11 represents the master leader. To understand 11, we must understand 1. And 1 represents the visionary, the force of creation, the action taker. When I say visionary, it's understanding with clarity, in alignment with heart, what the um, what the true intentional desire is, and understanding what are the steps that need to be taken in order to reach that goal, and really immersing oneself within the process of that. And one being written as a straight line. The straight line is the most masculine shape in the world of art. And so one is inherently masculine in its energetic expression. And so with 11, it's two ones essentially with the same polarity coming together. You can imagine two sides of the same side of a magnet, two north sides, for example, and the repulsion force that creates, but they're locked in. And so the um, the bandwidth of energy in which master numbers operate on are completely different to every other double digit combination. Because of this, they're the only numbers where both the digits are exactly the same, right? And so in the rules of numerology, master numbers do not get simplified down to a single digit. So 11 stays as 11 and is not written as a 2. And so for today, really the theme has been honing and revisiting what the vision is and really taking action in alignment to that. And by taking action, it can be overwhelming. I guess I can speak from my experience of being a little overwhelmed with how much work is to be done, but there's always work to be done, and it's really a matter of just taking it one step at a time and visualizing the process and visualizing the immediate process, and really simplifying down to dissolve the overwhelm. I know for me that's worked, and I think for a lot of us, we're so overstimulated and we are constantly chasing hits of dopamine, and it shows up in so many different forms, not just through technology, but through our habits with food, with indulgences, activities. And really it's for me, what I'm realizing is how important it is to keep my dopamine levels more neutral and not be subconsciously sort of almost possessed by this feeling of wanting to scroll on my phone or going downstairs for a snack because I'm hungry, kind of thing. But fine tuning out of those cravings of dopamine. It's hard to completely get out of it, of course, but really minimizing it to the point where I allow myself to increase my sensitivity to the more subtle hits of dopamine. And for me, that's incredibly necessary because as a video editor, it's a very long and drawn out process. And so since there are no quick hits of dopamine, what I've noticed is I can't keep my attention in my flow for long enough. And so I've realized that as I eliminate the noise and the distractions, I'm able to become more sensitive to the little wins in editing. Sometimes it takes multiple hours just for one particular animation that you're trying to create, right? And it could be incredibly frustrating at times. And having that sense of sensitivity to that fulfillment and rush of dopamine that comes from actually completing a slightly drawn out task is a sweet spot. I've been there before, and it makes the whole process so much more enjoyable and more productive as a result of that. So really, under the frequency of the 11, it's about really relying on the masculine qualities of the one, and trusting that through full commitment and intention of expressing the masculinity in alignment to the vision, it's going to create a container so much more safer, secure for the femininity that wants to express itself within us to also flourish to its maximum capacity. And so it's very interesting understanding the characteristics of each number through the polarity of masculine, feminine, yin, yang, the giving, the receive, the action taker, the anyway, you get the gist. And so one thing I would say is that it's really helped me understand relationship dynamics, relationships of all sorts of connections that we have on a regular basis. And here, especially for me, like there's a constant flurry of new people that I get to meet. And understanding the energetic dance, let's say, and the balance and the symphony of the masculine and the feminine within us, but also externally. It has brought such level of clarity, mostly for myself, as to how to manage my own internal masculine and feminine, and being able to identify what are the aspects of myself that actually need healing, and being open and in acceptance of all of these parts of me that I may have been not shining a light to, and maybe feeling a sense of shame or guilt to these aspects of myself. But now I reached a point of genuine, like full acceptance of all parts of me as they are right now, and not putting any level of judgment or shame as to these aspects of me, because it's part of who I am. And in order to truly transmute out of that emotional attachment to these lower density energy forms, like shame, like guilt, like fear, especially fear is a really big one for all of us, really. Once we come to full acceptance with them, can we really open up the space for that transmutation process to happen? And really, these emotions and these tethers of energy that we have to our past that are holding us down are opportunities for us to learn from, and to understand that these experiences were part of our experience, part of our character building. And how we choose to transmute them can be done by understanding our own personal code, and understanding what are the natural ways in which I like to express myself. What are the things that come naturally to me? What are my talents? What are the energetics within myself, within my system, that can be expressed through numbers? How can I manage that in order to express myself in full authenticity? And that's what numerology really is a tool for, is to help you understand yourself, remember who you are, and apply that gnosis into taking action through this level of clarity of self in the direction that's truly in alignment to your heart. And so this level of acceptance has opened up the space for more healing. And so more connections, more opportunities, more conversations take place that only happen as a result of me clearing the space within my own container, because now I'm energetically, the space is cleaner and is more open to these types of conversations to be had. If I wasn't in this place, then I wouldn't be meeting certain people or having certain conversations. And that's just the way it is in my experience. That's how I perceive it, and that's what rings true to me. But yeah, leaning on the masculine is a huge part of today's energy. And so for tomorrow, 16th of April, 2026, we have 30. So we're moving on to a new container, a new energetic engine. So with double digits in numerology, the first digit is essentially I express it as an energetic container, but at the same time, it's more of the energetic engine that drives the combination. And the second digit is the fuel that powers the engine. And so for tomorrow, 16th April, we have, it adds up to 30, which simplifies down to a 3. And so we have the new energetic container of a 3 now, and fueled by 0, which is essentially raw expression of God consciousness. It's the everything in the emptiness, and but it's in the emptiness where everything really is, pretty much. It's in the 99.99999% of space is empty, because that is how much space is in an atom. The protons and electrons take up 0.0000001% of the physical mass of an atom. And if you think everything around us is physical, made of atoms, it's like, okay, this is all pretty much empty space, which is just mind-blowing, right? And so 0 holds significant value. And if you just think about it, the more zeros you add to a number, the more potent the magnitude, right? And so for tomorrow, we have 30. It's the expression of the 3 of a higher order, essentially. And 3 represents childlike creativity, expression, wanting to connect, wanting to create, fundamentally. Be curious about the directions in which your attention gets pulled. And you know from the heart when it's something that's truly exciting, something that ignites a fire in your inner child, something that makes you want to have fun and play. These are all very resonant for the energy of 3. And so tomorrow's going to be a fun day for me, editing videos of a DJ set. And I'm very much excited for that, because the music's incredible and the vibe was just so intimate and soft, and with a beautiful view, and just very loving. And I'm super excited to create. And later in the evening, there's going to be a drum and bass night with a DJ that I'm helping create more content. And so it's a day to create. It's a day for the inner child to have fun. Get yourself out there, do something fun, do something for your inner child, whatever that may be. It might be painting, might be just spending time in the sun and just laying in the grass or on the beach or wherever you are in the world. I'm sure you can find something that you can get your inner child to be more expressive. And a day to be social, for sure. Now, with the energy of 3, it's also mindful. It's also good to be mindful that with this childlike curiosity and intrigue and everything, it's very easy to spread your energy thin across many different things and eventually get nothing done or reach no sense of fulfillment within. And so really just allow yourself to allow your attention to go in multiple directions, but just discern between what are those things that are actually in alignment to what the bigger picture is for yourself, and not go overindulging in things that actually are not serving you. And you know that within yourself what those things are, but those are just the choices that are your responsibility to make. And there's no shame or guilt whether or not you do something that doesn't serve your highest vision, and you also do that willingly, because from experience, having done that a lot myself, it's just part of the process. Eventually you're going to get to a point where you realize that this is something that this is getting a little too deep, but eventually you get to a point after spreading yourself too thin where you realize that these things aren't even serving me, and I can truly let them go. I could say that for myself as a 3 life path, and so my whole life has been the theme of this expression of 3. Whereas when it comes to specific days and how the collective tap into that, it still applies, but it's just on a smaller time frame. But yeah, anyway, just to share a little bit of things happening on my end. Like, there's a lot of processing still taking place from the last week of experiences, and I feel like I'm in a really good place. I feel really safe and secure within myself. I understand I'm in the process of stepping into this high form of embodiment, and I'm already there, but it just continues to and just continues to expand, which is out of choice too. As my energetic container is becoming cleaner as a result of detaching myself from these limiting beliefs, these shadow aspects, these aspects of myself that used to hold me back. But now that I've come in full acceptance with those, it's the anchoring effect, that was like the energetic sort of weight that it has on us, which slows us down or doesn't allow us to fully break through. Those chords are cut, and so not only am I lighter and I'm ascending, but as a result, my container is expanding, and it's also expanding with less baggage in it. And so there's more space, not only because of the size, but because of the space that I've created as simultaneously. And so that's creating the space for more creative, feminine expression, authenticity, receptivity, intuition, connection with source, allowing this channel of creativity to remain open, thanks to the energetic container of my foundations, my aspects of stability, my routines, my ways in which I'm consistently showing up and putting the work that's required in order to execute this vision, right? And so that's the energetic balance that I've been working on. And actually, this is something that we all work on, whether it's consciously or subconsciously. But when you do step into that intentional practice of self-reflection with full transparency, accountability, and responsibility, and acceptance, and really not judging yourself or putting any shame on aspects of yourself that we've just been conditioned to suppress, and it's okay. Like, it's just the way in which all of us have been wired. It's the journey of being human, and fundamentally we're all experiencing the same script, just through our own unique, authentic experience and expression. And there's a lot of peace in reaching to that level of simplicity, and it just pieces the puzzles. It just pieces together pieces of the puzzle a lot more seamlessly, for me anyway. But yeah, I'm complete. I think that's going to be the end of the transmission. 15 minutes, 17 minutes, that's more reasonable. And I actually like this because it allows me time to just sort of flow and not be too constrained with the efficiency of delivering the message, like a proper video on YouTube would be. The live stream is a lot more natural, and yeah, I enjoy it. Let me know if you enjoy it. But that's going to be the end of the transmission. If you have any questions, or if you'd even like to share your experiences and what you've been going through, what processes you've been going through, and what you've been learning, and how the understanding of numbers and what I'm sharing, if that resonates with you, what are the sparks of connection that you find? I'd really love to know. And if you want a full one-on-one numerology reading, then all my details are in the description below. And I wish you a very pleasant evening. It's a beautiful evening here. It's although cloudy, but it doesn't look like it's going to rain, which is nice. And the weather's getting warmer too, which I love. Not wearing double ponchos anymore, which is great. I wish you a wonderful evening, a grand rising, good afternoon, wherever you are. And as always, YouTube, I'll see you tomorrow.